Alright, today we're going to talk about different ways to represent 3D figures. The objective is I will learn to draw representations of three-dimensional figures and recognize them from a given representation. Alright, so there's this thing, there are many ways to represent 3D figures. There's this thing called orthographic drawing, which shows the different views of a 3D object. And they're top, bottom, front, back, left side, and right side. So looking at this rectangular pyramid, if I were looking at this from the top view, what I would see is I would see this rectangle, and then I would see what looks like two diagonals kind of intersecting. That would be the top view. Looking at it from behind, so from back this way, if I were looking at it going here, the back view would look more like a triangle. Okay, if I'm coming at it from the right-hand side, going this way, I'm going to see another triangle that would look a little more equilateral, probably. And then the left side, looking at it from this way, would be similar to what's on the right. And then if I'm looking at it from the front, coming in this way, I would see a bigger triangle, similar to what's in the back. And then if I'm looking at it from the bottom, I would see a rectangle. So from this pyramid, these are the 6 different ways that I could look at it if I were looking at it straight from any side. Alright, so this example here, there's another kind of 3D drawing using cubes, and we're going to use these orthographic views to draw the top, front, left, bottom, back, and right. I went ahead and made a 3D image of it so you can see what it would be looking at if I were looking at it from the top. So if I'm looking at it from here coming down, this is what you would be seeing. I kind of centered it. You would have 3 squares here and then 1 right underneath it. So we're going to draw that here for my top view. This top view would look like that. If I look at it from the bottom, that would mean I'm looking at it this way. So then I would see 3 going this way and then 1 on top. From the front, that would give me this. So I would see 2 squares, then 1 square, and then there would be 3 on the front side. From the back, I would see kind of the flipped version of that. It would go 3 tall, then 1 in the middle, and 2 on the right. So I reorient this. Now if I'm looking at it from the left side, which would be this side, straight ahead, I would only see that. So you would see 3 squares. And looking at it from the right-hand side, if this is the front, I turn it over towards the right, I would see something like that, where I would have 1 square here, and then 3 of them just to the right of that. Alright, next different kind of representation of 3D drawings is something called an isometric drawing. And there's a paper that you actually use that has dots that look like this. Right? And the reason they're drawn this way, or the reason they're lined up like this, is because you can take, if you connect them in different ways, you can get different shapes. That would be kind of a basic cube. So I'm just going to kind of show you one that we can draw. And you'll be able to practice this. So if I draw this, I connect them, I can make different kinds of drawings by connecting these dots. Right, and so you would have what would look like some cubes. These cubes right here would be behind this stack here. Right. So I'm going to kind of leave you, that kind of left you some space here so you can kind of want to, if you want to practice this and kind of draw different shapes, you can do that. But I just did want to show you what isometric drawing looks like. Other thing we want to look at is what's called perspective drawing, and that's using this vanishing point thing here. So this is what people use when they want to make something look 3 dimensions. All right, so we're going to practice using, on this particular example, we're using 1-point perspective. So what you want to do is very lightly with a pencil, if you're going to draw this L and make it 3D, if you very lightly connect all the vertices to that point, this is what's going to give you, what you would do is you kind of extend these lines out this way and come down. All right, so go ahead and connect to these, and what we do is if we connect this part of it, right, and then we get rid of all the extra little pencils, which is why I asked you to do it lightly. That L is now in 3 dimensions. Okay, moving on. So now I'm giving you the 3D shape and then a drawing. You determine what the drawing represents the given object. Assume there are no hidden cubes. So on this one, I'm looking at the actual 3D colored version. This would be 3 cubes here, and then there would be 1 cube on the right. So looking at this, is just 3 tall, but then it goes 3 horizontally, so this would be a no. Like I said, it does not match. This drawing does not represent this 3D image. All right. Now, number 4, determine whether the drawing represents the given object. So I'm looking at this over here, and we want to see if it matches. So here's my 3D image. If I'm looking at it from the top, I see the 2. If I flip it over to look at the bottom, that matches. This would be my front. There's 3 by 1 or 3 by 2. Okay. If I look at it from the back, that matches the drawing. Okay, and then we need to reorient this. If I'm looking at it from the left, I see 3 cubes. And if I rotate and I look at it from the right, same thing, I see 3 cubes. So yes, this one would be a match. Alright, here's this one, number 5. Determine whether the drawing represents the given object. Assume there are no hidden cubes. I'll leave this one for you to decide and check with me in class.